The Ottoman Empire won the First Balkan War. Let's find out. So welcome colleagues, fellas, and mentally unstable people that are seeing this video. I'm Bausch, and today we're going to take a look at a scenario where these guys basically don't collapse. So if you guys enjoy this type of content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. That is always really important, and let's get going. So today we have to make the Ottoman Empire manage to not collapse. Yay, this will be fun. So originally the Ottomans just screwed themselves up. Firstly, starting at the Italian-Libyan War, where the Ottomans had indeed control over Libya, and Italy declared war on them. And it is at this case that you have two options of what you could do. One, you could either understand that the Conference of Berlin is just more important than your desires in the region of Libya, that is not connected to your mainland, that it could be actually more useful to give up on Libya than to try to fight with Italy, that has a bigger military and more organized than yours, and decide to leave Libya without having much losses and be able to reorganize your military. Or two, fight with Italians and lose, just 1/3 of your military, 1/4, and the Ottomans choose the second one, so that can't happen. But originally, with that happening, what happened after was worse, because now the Ottoman military wasn't organized, wasn't structured, and that only allowed the Balkan states to have an easier invasion of Turkey. And this, if we are forgetting all of the other things that happened. With the Young Turk Revolution and the Austro-Hungarian annexation of Bosnia, the Young Turks, as they were tired of the Sultan, expelled the Sultan from the country, and with their incredible reforming changes in the country, they decided to do what? Try to guess. Not make a fucking change at all. So the only change that they made was to make Bosnian immigrants, Muslim immigrants in Bosnia, to come to these regions in the Ottoman Empire. And was it good? No, it wasn't, because that only triggered people. With Bosnians living in these regions were actually home to many Albanians that liked the Sultan, and they aren't happy with other Muslims from Bosnia there, and they think that if the Sultan was there, this wouldn't happen. Muslim invasion against Muslims, and a Sultan that is overthrown by a bunch of young teens that they think that they can try to rule a country. That's basically what happens. And then, nationalist movements in Albania, which just gives a reason for Bulgaria, Serbia, Greece, and Montenegro that recently made up the Balkan League to go at war with Turkey. So we cannot let that happen. Mainly the Albanian Revolution and the Italian War were just proofs that the Ottomans were just falling and were just a crippled empire that really wouldn't last for long. But what if that was different? What if the Ottoman Empire actually managed to not cripple itself into totally failure, that would just cost them mainly World War I entirely and all of their empire, and to just remain a small insignificant country that would then try, or at least manage to recover itself and now be a superpower. No, not a superpower, but a main power in geopolitics. Yes, I'm talking about Turkey. But again, what if that didn't happen? What if the Ottoman Empire managed to sustain itself? Let's see. So first things first. If the Ottomans were actually smart in the Italian-Libyan War, they would understand that the Berlin Conference is actually something a bit difficult to go against with. Why? Well, because Britain agreed, France agreed, Germany agreed, Portugal agreed, Spain agreed, so many guys agreed with this conference, counting with Italy. So when Italy makes the invasion of the region of Tripolitania, the Ottomans should be quick to understand that fighting is useless, which they were not in real life, dumbasses, and understand that, hey, let's just get the troops out to our mainlands, because The Ottomans originally tried to fight, but didn't really invest on creating military bases and fortifications, which just led to the Italians to, roll all over Libya and eventually conquer it with, well, it actually costed them very much, but it also costed the Ottomans very much. So fighting over Libya is a bit useless, you see. It is not connected to Ottoman mainland. It really has no oil reserves or that much of important mines. Well, it has a bit. I don't think that it is just a territory to be worth fighting of. So as the Ottomans make a peace deal with the Italians, for the Italians to have Libya in order for the British to let Ottoman troops pass into the mainland, the Italians agree with a peace deal, and in response they promise not to attack the Ottoman Empire in 50 years' time, which is good for the Ottoman Empire, as their international reputation is not completely damaged, just a bit. But yeah, they don't look like complete jerks because they didn't lost the war. They gave up Libya because they knew that they would lose the war. But with this, the international reputation isn't that damaged, and there is a second good thing. And now the Ottomans manage to, or at least are able to manage, to create fortifications along the border, especially right here in Greece, where they create this fortification line with Serbia and Montenegro, creating this line right here, and with Bulgaria going like really straight up in the border with Bulgaria. So you would have like something like this, I guess, and something like this, I guess. But although they managed to reorganize, they managed to create military bases and all of that, there's still one thing, you know, and that's Young Turks, because the main reason for the Ottoman Empire image to be damaged is to make their own people against them, their own Muslim people. So, although they have to be really more accepting of the Christians to try to maintain ties with these Christian countries, we have to make the Ottoman Empire do something else, and that is to prevent the Albanian crisis. How? Two things. One, Sultan manages to win over the Young Turks. So the bunch of angsty teens that try to take over the government don't manage to take over the government because the government is actually decently smart to not let a bunch of teens rule the country. Come on, like, you could at least try to create a political party, but getting overthrown by a bunch of toddlers is actually a bit humiliating. Sorry there, Sultan, but it is true. And with the Sultan in power, there is a matter of the Bosnian immigrants. What do? You just keep them there. You can suffer all you want in Austria-Hungary, and then just die in World War One. Who cares? Well, no, they will probably try to do something, but I just really don't have anything in mind for what would the Ottomans do in Bosnia. So just stay there. No one cares. And now, after all of this, Albanians should actually probably be happy because they really didn't like the Serbians and the Christians. They weren't really fans of them. So if the Ottoman just manages to make everything good to them, things could actually probably go smoothly. But now, time for the war itself. As, okay, Albanian revolution doesn't happen. But after a few years, these guys would just see that they have to go to war eventually, and all of them really had a purpose to go to war. Greece wanted revenge for the war that they had with Turkey a time ago, and the expansion in the regions of Macedonia, where there were many Greeks living in all of these regions. Bulgarians wanted Thrace and parts of Macedonia, while Serbians also wanted parts of Macedonia, and Montenegro too, uniting the Christians that again were living in the region, mainly Bulgarians. And you have like a big majority of Albanians here, and a big majority of Turks here, but the rest is just Christian. So with the Turks making reforms on accepting the Christian populations that were there, the population will not be that much in total favor of the Balkan War, as they're actually cool with the Ottomans. But yeah, Montenegro will just do it. And there's the thing, the Balkan War is indeed formed, but not with Bulgaria. Why? Because, well, we have to take a deep look at Bulgaria. Bulgaria was actually called the Prussia of the Balkans at that time, and it was like an expansioning country that was time to time, or at least while taking its time, becoming the most powerful country in the region, at least managing a bit to overthrow the Ottoman influence in the region. And getting Bulgaria on Ottoman side is actually really important for the Ottomans. And so they tried to persuade the Bulgaria not joining, which, with the international reputation of the Ottomans that isn't much shattered, and the fortifications in the border, manages to make Bulgaria not join the war. And there's only one thing: they have to give territorial possessions to Bulgaria. That is their condition. That is Bulgaria's condition. And unfortunately for the Ottomans, they will have to accept. There's just no other way. Either you give a bit of land, or you just get shattered by a country which is like 5 times smaller than you. And in this deal, you can see that Bulgaria annexes the most of regions of Thrace, and a bit right here on the eastern part of Constantinople, I guess, but still Thrace. And now with Bulgaria annexing all of these regions, you could say that the majority of the Bulgarians are united under one nation, and this just makes Bulgaria not join the war, not participate in the Balkan League, and the Ottomans make a big move right here because they managed to make the most powerful country that they could have to face off not join the Balkan League. And with Montenegro being alone at war with the Ottomans, the Serbians and the Greeks will have to act because they do not want to lose Montenegro. So, although you could say that Montenegro would actually be able to conquer some territories right here, trying to conquer a bit of territories and going after a bit of some little important Turkish cities, this invasion would be completely overthrown, as Serbia and Greece all joined the war to try to protect their ally. Things aren't actually gonna go as smoothly as they were expecting. Now that the First Balkan War is officially started, what is actually going to happen? So, although the Balkan War actually started with Montenegro, the official one with Serbia, Montenegro, and Greece declaring war on the Ottomans has actually started. And the Ottomans aren't just going to get stopped doing actually nothing. So right here, they focus firstly on Montenegro, but indeed taking out the weakest. So they threaten the major cities, as any normal country would. Their capital is right here, so the Montenegrins wouldn't be able to sustain that much. They would try to create a defense line here into trying to stopping Ottoman advance. Right here, they wouldn't just be able to face off the Ottomans, as they have a more and better prepared defensive line with a more organized military, and their capital just falls into Ottoman control, which just makes the whole Montenegro surrender to Ottoman control. Right here in Serbia, Ottoman troops will actually try to focus again on the major cities, so they'll come right here and start making their invasion over into Bor, while also trying to prepare a footholding, I guess, to conquer Belgrade. There aren't really major cities on the south, as most of major cities are in the north, but he can manage to make a good, actually, western campaign, conquering some major important cities of the Serbians at the region, and trying to follow some natural features that a country has, trying to follow some rivers that were right here, and conquering some major cities that are near this river, which I do not know the name. Eventually, they would manage to conquer all of this region. Now, as the river will go right here, they will just start following it and conquering everything that is through it. And these invasions, the problem of them is just that they are too long, so they do not have any connection as the Montenegro invasions have. So the Serbians will actually manage to push this invasion right here over here, as the Ottomans wouldn't be able to at least connect these invasions for now. So now the Ottomans would try to establish these fronts while also looking at Greece. Greece is really not in the advantage here. If Serbia was not, then Greece, if Serbia is not, Greece is just pretty screwed up. So again, invasion of these islands, totally conquered as a major city, I think here. I'm not sure again, so sorry if I'm saying something that is not right. They now start moving over here in the south into a city that is on these lakes and manage to conquer it in some surprise attacks, while also focusing on getting Athens completely cut off. So you have right here the city of Larissa, which is going to get conquered, but this region over here just really has not much. So what they're going to try to do, they try to take this little island right here, and they start making a naval blockade of Greece. While they are making this naval blockade, this island right here of Greece is actually taken, and they start their invasion over here into trying to get the maximum out of Greece over here in a surprise attack, managing to get all of these regions. Then in the middle, this is just like nothing, so their main objective is actually to try to cut the little region of Athens off the rest of Greece, but it's not going to be actually easy. So they managed to move with some difficulty over here in the lakes, actually managing to make some invasions, but not into actually major cities, just to get a resource found, that is a lake. Eventually, they will get to Larissa, and they will now start encircling some of these lakes to get control of all of the natural resources to feed their soldiers. Right here, they will make another invasion to get over here and conquer all of these regions, and also manage to sustain and maintain a blockade over here in this region that is actually encircled, except for sea, but who cares? But the Ottomans wouldn't actually be able to pass these lakes. So now they are trying to establish more of a defensive strategy. Right here, conquering all of these regions and now threatening to get to Athens. Right here in the part of Serbia, the Ottomans will eventually manage to get a connected front line together as they manage to go over the river. And now they seek to get to Belgrade. So first, they have to get to Karuzvarek, which is like right here. They conquer it because it is not that much good protected. And now they will seek Belgrade, which is right here. So after some fake invasions of some other outposts that they have, the Ottomans managed to conquer Belgrade. Because at this moment, Belgrade is surrounded, and now pretty much everything is surrounded. So now major cities are all conquered, and there's like really not much for the Serbians to do as a forced surrender, but they will stay still for some more. As now the last objective for the Ottomans is to take Athens. So they'll come right here, and they will see what they need to do to take Athens. So besides Larissa, you have Lamia and you have Delphi and Atla. So Atla right here was already conquered, but you have Delhi right here, then you have Athens, no, Lamia, then Delhi, then Athens. So they're going to go at this. So they start their campaign going at here. They managed to fully sustain their campaign while also making this a bit of an island hopping to get the naval invasion that they so wished. And now they are going to make a different invasion over here, trying to get this other city that I mentioned that I forgot the name because I have that really, really great memory. Eventually, they managed to get it and just cut this part of Greece off the rest of Greece. Now they try to solidify this front line with getting many soldiers to make campaigns over here. And eventually, this part of Greece is just going to get threatened while Athens is invaded and conquered by the Ottomans. It is at this time that they understand that whatever they are doing is not really going to work, and so they all decide to surrender to the Ottoman Empire. And in the peace treaty, you can see that Turkey just gets all of northern Greece, all of southern Serbia, and some eastern parts of Montenegro, while making the rest a puppet state. And while this can be very important because, hey, the Ottomans didn't collapse. Great. But it wouldn't be that much of a prosperous peace treaty, as Bulgaria would probably want more of these regions, and this would be maybe unstable. Bulgaria would probably search to get little bits of Serbia, and the Ottoman Empire might get a victory on this one, but it might not be as prosperous as it could be. But yeah, guys, this would directly affect the result of World War One, as now with the Ottomans having all of this control over all of these territories, this could mean a different result in World War One, as now with Austria-Hungary and Germany having this help of their fellow Ottoman ally, imagining that there is like no alteration in who the allies are and who they are not. The Balkan campaign of these guys would just be really easier, as they do not have to worry now with that much things as they had to worry. With a big Serbia, they do not have to worry with that anymore. So Serbia is small, like really small. And in this scenario, it is actually probable for the Shiflin plan to actually work. How? Quite simple. You see, as now the Serbians would be like completely destroyed, the Greeks, yeah, sorry man, sorry pals, but there's like not much that I can do, so you would just be completely destroyed too. And with these, the Romanians wouldn't really be able to stand that much too. And if the Germans made it together, push over here in Russia would be much easier, as now Russia has to focus in the bigger front line. And now the Germans could actually probably act sooner and conquer Paris before the Russians be able to conquer it, as the Balkan front is actually a bit more problematic than it usually is. But again, it's the Balkans. And Italy would actually probably not join the war inside of France, as they just want the winner's sides. They do not like the losers. I am Italy. I am not in the losers team, only in the winners team. But I'm mainly a loser that failed to remake the Roman Empire and said that I would do that. Yes, that is you, Kingdom of Italy. I love it. I love how I love Italy. In Second World War, the fascists just destroyed the Roman Empire's dream. But yeah, so with the Ottomans winning this war, this could probably mean a scenario where the Germans win World War One. Maybe not. What do you think, guys? Don't forget to type in the comments. But hey, remember just one thing. This is just a theory. A mapping theory. Thanks for watching. Huge respect to Matt Pets. We will miss you, Matt. And yeah, see you on the next video.